Hello, welcome to episode 70. 70.
Wow.
I know. Of the Do It Picture Today podcast. I'm here with Jordan. Hello, Jordan.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. Whereabouts are you located?
I'm in Sydney, Australia at the moment. Yeah. Yep.
Oh,
In
yeah.
between the Gold Coast, so up and down at the moment.
Mm.
Yeah.
Thought just popped into my brain. What are
Yeah.
your thoughts about the Sydney Marathon being one of the
I,
majors?
I did see that. And I back it. I support it 100% because that is my favorite marathon that I've done so far. Yeah. So I've done the
Okay.
Gold Coast. That was beautiful. But Sydney, there's something about running under the Opera House, through the tunnels, and under the Harbour Bridge even. I was like, wow, I was baffled but how beautiful it actually was. And the city is about an hour away, so I'm never really there. So
Oh,
to
okay.
run through it is like just beautiful.
I bet.
It's incredible. Yeah. So definitely throw that on your bucket list.
Okay. It
Yeah.
is. I feel like that's like the best way to see a city.
Yeah.
I know that sounds so
Run
cheesy,
through
but
it.
like
Yeah.
run through it.
Close the streets and just run through. Have a look.
It is. And I mean, the pictures that I've seen from Sydney Marathon
Yeah. Yeah.
just look,
It was a full day. Yeah.
it
It
looks
was,
amazing.
I was amazed. And I've lived here for, 20 plus years, and it was incredible. Just
Yeah.
absolute scenes, and everyone was having a good time. It's such a great day for it. Just
Yeah.
the community around it as well is just incredible.
All right. All right. Add it to the list. You've
Yeah,
convinced me.
add that on there.
You've convinced me. All right. So for people that don't know you, and we chatted earlier before I hit record.
Yeah,
I asked you on the podcast today because I've been following you for I don't know exactly how long, but enough to recognize the
yeah,
realness and the inspiration that I've been
yeah,
able to just kind of see as a person following your account.
yeah,
So for those who have not seen or met you, how
yeah.
would you introduce yourself?
Oh wow.
I know.
Introduce myself.
Mm-hmm.
I introduce myself as someone who wants to push the limits and the boundaries every day. Every training session that I do, I train like it's training like it's a proper event day. Every session is just like go in, go hard, be better than I am yesterday. That's how I would say. I train really hard, and I like to encourage other people to do that as well. That's yeah. I guess that's just a
I
little
love
about
it.
me. Yeah,
I love that's perfect. I mean,
yeah,
I know when people hold themselves to that level of discipline and that
yeah,
level of standard in like a training session, it speaks volumes of their character. So that's why I think like people
yeah,
who are disciplined in that and like know how to push their limits, know how
yeah.
to continually thrive in the uncomfortables or like in discomfort. Yeah, it's inspiring as hell.
Thank you. I think it's one of those things where it's like, uh, there's you're that tired every day after these big sessions. There's not much motivation, but it just comes down to discipline, and you just
Hmm.
do it. You do it anyway. So I don't really think about it as zero. I mean, it's especially after the 100 miler that I've just finished. It's very little motivation, but it's all discipline and just getting it done. Just getting it done.
So, I mean, I believe this to be true. Have you noticed that? And I'll get into our love
Yeah,
questions, but where this is going, I kind of want to see where it
yeah,
goes. From your perspective, has your discipline in the training world developed you as a business owner, human, and
yeah.
has that discipline carried over to other realms
100.
of your life?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, definitely. It's given me a lot of structure, a lot more
Mm.
structure. So I need to schedule my days now, and just rather than worrying about getting it done, when we're going to do it, what time today, later on today, maybe I'll do it. I get it done. And so whether something pops up in one of the businesses, I'm just like, all right, this needs to be done. I'll get it done and move on to the next. I won't
Mhm.
push it back. I won't do it later. I'll just make sure I'm onto it. And that's one thing that's just really grown throughout everything, like training and businesses, really just getting it done. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm with you 100%. I think once I finished like sports in college and high school, there was
Yeah.
this massive gap.
Yeah.
And so this training to these like ultra marathons filled that gap
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
sure. So how
Yeah.
long have you been in, like, how long have you been in the fitness space?
So I've always been into fitness.
Okay.
Uh, Endurance training though.
Mm.
I started in March. So I started
Are
running
you
in March
serious?
this year. Yeah, yeah. Um,
Jesus
yeah.
Christ.
So that's it's a bit of story behind it. Like I've always wanted to push myself and but I've never figured out what it is I want to do and what I can push myself in. So I played team sports, and you can only get so far with that. So I stumbled across running, and I was like, "Oh, I just ran 10Ks today. Let's go 12 the next, and the next." And I'm like, I found myself stuck around the 20-kilometer mark,
Mm.
and that's where I'm like, maybe I'll get a coach and see how far we really can go.
Yeah.
So that same month, I got a coach, and yeah, here we are. Just last month, finished my first 100 miler. So
Dude, that's
yeah,
crazy.
just I dedicated everything to it. So I was, yeah, just seeing what could come of it.
Jeez, I wasn't. Damn. Like, so
Yeah.
I guess the question is it's a bit lofty of what question because you really
Yep.
can't like fitness space being something as like starting as team sports to
Yep.
then being like in the gym. Like, I feel like there's such a translation. There's always
Yeah.
a story. I feel like nine out of
Yep.
the 10 runners that you see outside, they didn't
Yep.
start with running, but
Yep.
somehow we're all here together. So,
Exactly. Exactly. It all just congregates and
yeah.
fits. Yeah. Like, yeah.
Damn. All right.
Yeah.
March.
Yeah. So it's been a big
March.
year. Yeah.
No shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good God, man. March, and then, so did you start? So you started pushing the distance. That sounded very poetic. Pushing the distance in March. And then from there, did you go straight to 100 for your first endurance? Or did you kind of plop some more races in there?
So I I got really fit. Because I told my coach I was like, all right, I want to do a 100 miler by the end of the year. Can you get me as fit as you can? I don't care what it is, just hurt me, like
Hmm.
give it to me. And he did. And so I did. What it was I did my first. Nothing was an official event until after. Okay, so there's a timeline. I did my first. I ran around my hometown area. My first marathon, so that was 42 kilometers. That was 2 months after I had a coach.
Okay.
So March. It was in April, and
Okay.
then April I was like, okay, I can run 42. Let's go 50. And then 4 weeks after, I did 50 kilometers, and then by that point, my legs were like pretty. Like the running economy was great. It was fine. Like my legs are used to it. Let's just keep pushing, and then that went to a weekly thing of 50 to 55 to 60, and then we kind of I was like, okay, what if we do 80 the next week? And
Oh,
so I kind of we did like a taper down for a week, and then we aimed to hit the 80 kilometers in May, late May,
okay.
and that same day. So I was like talking to my coach throughout the run. I'm like, I'm feeling really good. I'm at 60 kilometers now. What if we just did 100? And he said, oh, get to 80 first and see how you feel, and then we'll go from there. And then I just didn't stop. I just went straight to the 100. So 100
Damn.
kilometers in with about 4 months of training.
Yeah.
Um, but brutal training, just
Yeah.
yeah, just like
I'm
getting it done.
because
And
100K, that's 60 miles. 62? 62.
yes, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm following you.
It's been a real jam packed few months, but I love it.
Yeah.
I just love pushing further.
Where did the 100-mile, where did that come in? When did that, like your dashboard of like, this is the shit I want to do this year?
Yeah.
When did 100-mile come into that dashboard and why?
Well, after watching Nick Bear, I watch a lot of Nick Bear. Yeah, I watched his Leadville thing,
Okay.
and I was just like, wow, this is incredible. And when I watched that, I was just like, I was at this point, I was like at a low point, still figuring out who I am, what I wanted to do, where I wanted to take things, still in that 9 to 5 thing when I just wanted to get out of it. And I was
Yeah.
like, all right, so what if I just push myself and see how far I could go? And that's when I started watching Nick Bear and very highly inspired by him. Amazing some of the things he does. And I was just like, let's work towards that and see what comes of it.
Mm-hmm.
And along the way, so many other things have arisen and grown from that. Um, but yeah, I just needed to take that journey to get there. So that was around late last year
Okay.
that I was like, okay, 100 miler, let's have a crack. And yeah, got a coach
Yeah.
and yeah,
Hell yeah. That's awesome. No, I follow Nick Bear as well.
yeah,
I
yeah,
don't I don't remember if he's played not an inspirational part, but he's played like a crucial part of like because of his kind of marketing strategy and how
yeah,
he does his cinematography, like he shows you
yeah,
behind the curtain.
yeah,
And that personal aspect is like, why the
yeah,
hell couldn't I do that? Because he makes
exactly.
it so personal, it's just like, dude,
Yeah,
why is that not possible for me? Like he just
yeah,
does it, he delivers it in a way so like folks like you and I are watching
yeah,
it being like, oh hell yeah.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And it's so inspiring. Yeah, it's just yeah, showing you what he does and goes through daily. It's just makes you want to do it,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah,
love people that do that. It's one of
yeah,
the hopes of this podcast as well. Not
yeah.
through like, 100-mile videotaping while doing so, but conversations with like,
Yeah,
you and I, people like
yeah.
hope they're listening to while they're running. So yeah, I get you.
That's I kind of
For
got a lot
sure.
of inspiration from that as well because well, Nick Bear's got a whole team around him, so he's it's kind of pretty easy to get filming him. No, not many people want to run that distance with you, funnily enough. So I have found that I have to film myself along the way just to get it done. To inspire other people, I need to carry that as well, you know?
Yeah. Yeah,
So
the Leadville, because I mean, there's been so many documentaries about Leadville.
yeah,
I think like Matt Choi just released
yeah,
one,
yeah.
but like I can't even imagine like the race itself. Like let's just focus on the race. I can't
Yeah.
imagine adding like a media
Mm,
team and like a
hmm.
media game plan because
Yeah,
how do you get your ass up there? How do you get your
yeah,
team up there? Like it's
yeah,
so even if you were there's the race, there's the 100
yeah,
miles, and there's the fact of like you also have your media team that's
yeah.
also there's such an intensive game plan that it's like, how are you doing this?
It's a huge process, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just
Oh
getting
yeah.
in, trying to stay in that state of getting it done is a lot in itself, and just worrying about the team and oh, what about like how I'm gonna portray this shot and that sort of stuff. It's incredible what they do. It really is, but it just goes to show how good their team is and the planning that they do. That's a goal I wish I'll be working towards in the future is building a team to be able to do that sort of stuff, which is that's the goal.
I like it. So from because you've been endurance training since like you shifted to endurance in
Yeah,
March.
yeah,
I've also noticed like with that separates you from like other fitness accounts is it's
yeah,
not just about like pushing yourself physically, but
yeah,
it's also mentally being present. And so you often like talk to me about like
yeah,
incorporating them to like smile or have a good
yeah,
week, or you
yeah,
also offer
yeah,
mental like I don't even like pickups. Like you it's not just about the physical for you, it's also mental as well. Can you chat with me like where that came from?
yeah, for sure. Well, when I was younger, I used to actually just watch all these motivational videos because just trying to figure out what I wanted to do and just inspire me to just to keep pushing, keep training, keep doing the things that I love. So that's all that always stuck with me is motivating other people or motivating myself. And I know what it's like to not be motivated. So if there's a chance where I can motivate other people at the same time, I'll do it. So when I started posting those, say, smile, have a good day, all this sort of stuff, I was kind of in a rough spot where I was saying it to myself in a way, but also trying to motivate others around me. And a lot of
Mhm.
people started to resonate with it. So I kept going, just kept motivating others. And if I was at a low point, I would just post that out there and hopefully motivate others, and that would make me feel better. So it's kind of like a give back sort of thing, and
Mhm.
yeah, and it's just kept going, and here we are, and I love it. I just love hearing other people say, this helped me today. It goes a long way. So it's been a few years where I've been doing that, but yeah, just real picked up on it recently. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah,
as someone who's been on like the receiving, I'm like it's nice to receive, but I bet like because I feel this as well. Sometimes the shittiest days
yeah,
are the days when you send out messages that you may need.
yeah,
Because
exactly,
I've been there as well. Like after a
exactly.
100 miler, like really
Yeah,
low points, it's like, okay, how
yeah,
do I stay
yeah,
motivated? And you end up like just jotting things down. You're like, oh, this could be helpful to share. It's very like, I need this. Someone else might need this, you know?
exactly, exactly. It's motivating in a
Mhm.
way. So I agree. It's yeah,
So do you think the drive, because there's obviously different types of people in the world. There's people that are very complacent and that are okay with the
hmm
norm. There's
yeah,
folks that are, still trying to find their way. And then
yeah,
there's people that are very much trying to pave their own path and
yeah,
very vocal about being the best versions of themselves.
yeah,
Where do you think your drive to be the best version of Jordan comes from?
yeah. Ooh, so
The thinker.
yeah, yeah, yeah. The best version of me. Well, it's kind of been in the back of my mind for a few years, but I've never really delved into it.
Mm.
I was always trying to. I have a presence where I love to help people. And I took that to my business side of things as well. So when I was working for other people, I'd be like, okay, what can I do for them? What can I do for him? But I never really thought about giving that attention to me until it wasn't only until this year as well, where I started writing down journaling, affirmations, intentions, that sort of stuff. And that's when I really delve in and figured out what I want and who I am as a person. So writing down and getting in touch with who I really am, that's where it's come from. And so I've been doing it daily now for about 211 days, and
Wow.
it's yeah, it's crazy. I started with 3 months. Let's start with 3 months, see what we can achieve in 3 months. Really diving into who I am and what I want out of life.
Mhm.
Each morning I would wake up, no phone, nothing, just straight to writing, have a coffee, get the brain going, and write down everything. And that's when things started to click. Okay, I'm like, okay, I can do this. What do I want out of this? And then it just branched off from that until now. Yeah, we're 211 days in, and it's I wrote it start at the start. I was like, all right, let's run this. Let's run this far. I want to achieve this, and now it's just like all compounded, and it's crazy the way the universe works. But when you really dive into what you want and you as a person and pushing yourself, that's when things start to happen.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit from where that came from. Um,
Hell yeah. I love that.
yeah,
So, did it start, if you don't mind me asking? Because
yeah,
I think journal writing, it's something I used to do every day and I don't anymore just because with training at 5 a.m., it just takes, it needs to be, I need to apply the same level of discipline to journal entry writing as I do training because they're just as important. Did it start with you just kind of with prompts and then kind of cascaded into this full encompassing narrative? Like, how did it
yeah,
start?
definitely. So it Well, I actually was watching another YouTuber and how he journals and does all this sort of stuff every day. And I started with just writing down little dot points of my intentions throughout the day. And then it just started to cascade and build into affirmations and living the life that I want right now. So believing that it's happening now and living that life. It's really, it's crazy to think, but it's come such a long way. And it's only been between 6 to 8 months, and so much can happen. I think people don't understand how much you can achieve in such a little amount of time, but you just need to start. So
Yeah.
yeah,
All right. I'm gonna do it. You've inspired me, man. I'm gonna block it off.
even when I travel quite a bit around different states, and times are changing, and I'm even on race day, I'll get up half an hour earlier. No matter what time it is, I'll just make sure that I get the intentions and affirmations done. So I'm always It's a daily thing. No matter what happens, I'm not touching my phone until that's done.
Yeah.
That I guess that comes down to a discipline thing from that I've learned from training, getting it
Yeah.
done. Just do it,
Yeah.
no distractions. Yeah,
Yeah, because it also sets you up for the rest of your day. You know, when
yeah,
you're very clear with what you want, it
exactly.
makes it very easy for you to not execute, but like live your
Yeah,
day to the best that you can.
yeah, yeah. I mean, if you wake up and you go straight to your phone, it's just like distraction after distraction. It's just another day, and you don't have that, that tunnel vision of what you want to achieve that day.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah, I like that. All right, man. I'm gonna start doing it. You've convinced me. All right. Well, thank you very much for sharing about that.
no worries.
I want to talk to you about your 100 miler because
Hmm.
this is one of the reasons why I reached out to you. This was
Hmm.
when I was watching you do like 5 hours on the
Yeah,
fucking stairmaster and being like, how are
yeah,
you
yeah,
moving? How are you sane? How many
yeah,
podcasts have you listened? How many books have you? So talk to me about like
yeah.
the human hovel. Am I saying that right? Human hovel?
Yes, yes,
Human
correct.
hovel
Yeah,
100.
yeah,
So that
yeah.
was 4 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago?
3 weeks. Yeah,
Okay, 3 weeks
yeah,
ago.
yeah,
So this race was one that made it onto your dashboard of 2025 earlier in
yes,
March.
yeah,
But are there I'm not familiar with how Australia sets up their races. Are there a bunch of 100 miles for you to choose from, or are there just more
yeah.
select few?
There is a few, and the human hover was actually not scheduled. It was a month prior to that I found this one, and I was like, okay,
Oh,
I'm
okay.
going to do that. So I was supposed to do another one up in Brisbane higher, but they cancelled that because there was track or course issues that
Oh,
they couldn't fix. So I was supposed to do it earlier on in the year,
mhm.
but things just didn't turn out that way. But
Yeah.
there's actually quite a few going around, and yeah, yeah,
Damn. So talk to me about this race. Like what was the biggest component? Like, okay, the biggest,
yeah,
this is my weakness, so I'm gonna, train extra here. And like what were things that made you hone
yeah.
in on this race and like intermix or change your training to race it?
So I actually believe that it's more so mental endurance
Oh
uh,
yeah.
over physical training. Like you can only do so much training, but if you do not have that mental endurance, the capability to push yourself through even the slightest of pain, you won't get it done, no matter how much training you've done. And it just came down to just doing it. I found this kind of way of training where I don't think, I just do. So I was there was bike sessions that just for about 3.5 hours, sitting there in the bike in the gym, staring at the wall, staring at the wall, and yeah, podcasts, all this sort of stuff. But I was like, all right, here we go again, another day. Don't think, just do. So there was a massive mental game. But yeah, running it, I found the hardest part was, well, put just one foot after the other, just keep going. I actually felt physically fine, but it was more so the mental strength where I was like, oh, I'm really tired right now. I just want to take a nap. But with, funnily enough, this 100 miler was actually national championships, which I didn't know about before I signed up. So that being said, normally you get about 60 hours. This
Uh-huh.
was 31 hours. They brought the cutoff time to half. So they halved it. And I didn't think anything of that. I was like, oh yeah, whatever. I mean, this being my first 100 mile, I was just like, oh, cool, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Until I actually 20 kilometers into the race, I missed a turn and I went the wrong way
Oh shit.
for about eight or so kilometers. And at this point, and then I had to go back. And at this point, I was like, wow, I've really just lost a lot of time here. I need to either make it back or otherwise I'm not going to make the cutoff. That was a huge mental block for me, pushing through that amount of time that I lost and chasing up to everyone. That was tough. That was mentally tough. And being so early in the race, I had all this energy and I was ready to go. So I gave it a bit more energy than I should have. And the point where I went too far, I had to go back up the mountain and then down and then back up. So I did more elevation than I should have. Yeah. And my legs copped it. After that, I was like, oh, I'm feeling it a bit now. And we're about 60 kilometers in. And I'm like, oh, I've got 100, 60, how much is 60 miles to go. And I'm like,
Uh-huh.
so that was a huge mental thing for me, but just one foot after the other. Don't think at that point. I was just like, don't think, just go. Keep
Hmm.
going, see what happens when you get there.
Yep.
And one foot after the other, we got there. But
Yeah.
given that I went the wrong way, the cutoff times kept getting shorter, and I kept slowing down because it took a lot of energy out of me. So I had to just keep going. If I stopped and
Yeah.
slowed down, or if I sat down at an aid station for a bit too long, I would miss the next cutoff. So that really just hit me hard. But with the mental strength that I built up, I just kept going.
Yeah.
It was. I've made it a lot harder than I should have,
Yeah. But
essentially.
you powered through though. I mean, it's the mental part. The reason I was so excited to ask you this
Yeah,
question is because I think a decent amount of folks know, like, you can be
yeah,
physically fit, but there's
yeah,
only a level that you can get to. Like, there's
mm,
only so many long ass runs that you can get to. You
yeah,
have to just at some point put yourself in that environment.
yeah,
And
yeah,
like the challenging bit for me was I always start a long run and I'm like, okay, all right. Like I count it back. I do the numbers game where I'm like, okay, if
yeah.
I have a 20 miler, I'm like, okay, we got a five and a five and a five and a five. When you do that with a 100 miler, you're fucked. Like there's you can't do that.
Fuck, I know.
You're
Yeah,
so
I
fucked.
tried doing that, and because as all runners do it, in ultra runners, you break things down. You get to a point, and you
Yeah.
keep going. You get to a point, but yeah, I tried doing that, and I was like, "Fuck, I'm so far. I'm so far behind right now. I have a lot of blocks to catch up on." But you just plug away. You plug away.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
I don't know if it was for you as a like the first because my course was it's 3.3 mile loops,
yeah.
but each loop was 400 yards or 400 feet of incline. So by the
Ooh,
end, I had like 9,600 feet, which doesn't
wow.
sound exponentially, but for
Yeah,
a backyard ultra,
yeah,
that was
yeah.
intense.
That sounds
But
intense.
I remember just being like every loop trying to like find some sort of number. Like, okay, if I have 3.3 loops, I need to have 30
Yeah,
laps. And I was like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's not a good one. Like that, like you try to
Runner's
find
map.
whenever you can.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's a thing. Yeah. Yeah.
It didn't work. So I do like the fact that you said just keep going. But as the race
Yeah.
got on, the more delusional I got, the easier it was for me to turn my brain off because there just was nothing left. There was nothing left, and you were just like, okay, I'm
Just
gonna
keep
keep
going.
going.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Literally, that's all you can do. Just keep going. Just keep going. Yeah. I did that during training. So I would I just found a place where I could switch off the brain and just keep going, not think about anything and just keep going. And time would fly. Like I was on the stairmaster for 4 or 5 hours, and I was like, oh, it's kind of done already, you know?
Damn, I haven't gotten there.
Yeah.
Are you not listening to anything? Are you just going like
I
full?
I listen to motivational stuff on YouTube, motivational
Okay,
video speeches, stuff like that.
okay.
Things that just I can just turn my brain off. Yeah,
Hmm. It's
yeah,
very much meditative. I think
hmm
when you can get to that point, not every workout is like it though. Not every time you're able to slip into a trance. There are some days where it's like you're fighting to stay on the machine. That's very impressive. Like 5 hours on a treadmill or a stairmaster.
yeah. Yeah, it was kind of. It wasn't even like we built up to that. It was like, okay, we're gonna throw this. Actually, no, I did. I took because I missed one of my trail runs where it was like a bit of elevation because of something, and I was like, all
Uh-huh.
right, so I'm gonna go to the gym. I told my coach I'm gonna go to the gym and jump on the stairmaster to mimic the elevation, and he's like, okay, yeah, do an hour or something, and I ended up doing 3 hours because I was like, all right, if I'm gonna be in the doing a trail run for 3 hours, I'm gonna do that here. So
Mm.
I did it, and I was like, I actually don't feel too bad. Maybe my legs are kind of built like from all the running we've done. they're ready to go. So from there, kind of, my coach was like, "You're insane. You've lost the plot. What are you doing?"
You've lost a
and then
lot.
he's like, "Okay, we're going to throw this into the training regime now." And then
Yeah.
we ended up doing it two times a week for about between 3 and 5 hours. So definitely, I think that helped dramatically build get me ready for the elevation to a certain degree. Because yeah, man, that course was pretty rough, to be honest. That human hovel.
Yeah.
It was at the hardest point was at nighttime when there's this waterfall and you're going down and it's like the track is about that thin and it was there's a drop. So you need to be in the zone and you got people behind you, you got people coming up, so you have to try and move to the side and move around them, and there's chains that you have to hold on to, and rocks, waterfall going down, hold on, and that sort of stuff. I'm so surprised that no one fell, because it was a pretty big drop, but there was loose rocks along the track, so you had to really be careful, but you had to, really, we're fighting against time here, so
Yeah.
we needed to get down there as fast as we could and get back up as fast as we could whilst being safe. So it was nothing could have prepared me for that.
Yeah. Damn.
Especially this was at about 100 kilometers, 60 miles in.
So you're sick. So you're feeling like you're not. This isn't fresh. It's not a fresh leg situation.
No, no, I was like, oh god, just get it done. And it was sitting down. And they had Coke, and everyone's drinking Coke. Coke was my favorite thing that day.
Dude.
I
Yes.
I haven't drank soft drink all year, but I think I drank about 6 to 10 bottles of Coke that day.
Mm-hmm.
And every time I drank it, I was like, "Oh, energy, let's go!"
Feel
Yeah,
refreshed.
it's real. Yeah, and I was like, "This is amazing. Why haven't I done this before?" And I was like really thankful for them providing all this Coke. And it's the small things, you know.
It's dude. The small things for sure.
Yeah.
I don't. I'm similar to you. I don't drink soft. Like it's just unnecessary. Like I'll do water or sparkling water, whatever. And they had Coke, and they had, well, we could bring our own because it was a loop, and so you could set up your own aid station. And so they had Coke, they had Sprite. I brought my own Red Bull, and I'm like, this is fantastic.
It's literally the small things. Honestly, it was great. I was really happy with the way they set this human hovel up. They had
Yeah.
a great bunch of volunteers at every aid station, just really picking you up, and they had food and watermelon and lollies and Coke and noodles, but really just providing for you. And I was grateful for that. It was because I met another guy on the track, and he said not many other organizations do this
Mm.
for their runs. So I was very appreciative for that.
Yeah. That can make a
Yeah,
difference.
huge
That's cool. They're able
difference.
to give you, all that sort of. Did you eat any of it? Were you eating the lollies and like the noodles during the race?
I as best as I could. Yeah, I would eat. I ate a lot of packets of chips, and as much water and stuff that I could.
Yeah.
Watermelon was great, went down so well. But I don't think I ate a proper meal. Well, my proper meal was noodles, because my stomach just felt like it was just shrinking, and I wasn't able to eat as much. So it was hard
Same.
to eat, and I just felt kind of and racing against time. So I was like, had to keep going. So I
Right.
had a cup of noodles at about 60 miles in, and
Hmm.
that was good. That was good. I needed that. Definitely needed that. But and about, God, how many gels did I have? Don't even know. I had gels like for days. I was pulling them out of everywhere. I was like, "You want a gel? You want a gel?" But you can only have so many gels until you just feel, oh, yeah.
Was that your only? Did you have like goos, gels? You have a carbohydrate mix?
I did, yes, yes.
Okay.
So I had a bit of both. Had a bit of both. I did train a lot on the carb mixes, because gels were just, I don't, the taste, and the sugar, and they get in your teeth, and I'm like, I took my toothbrush, so I had it at every aid station,
Aw.
because I needed to brush my teeth because you get that furry feeling from all the sugar. And I
Yeah.
was like, oh, no, I need to brush my teeth. So I'd quickly
Yeah.
brush my teeth and keep going. Just it kind of felt like a bit refreshing as well. But in terms of gels, I think I had about 3 to 4 an hour. So
Holy
yeah, I didn't
shit.
probably didn't need that many, but I I just made sure of it. I just made sure I had the electrolytes in me.
I mean, if you're not eating, I had a hard time eating food as well. I think just when your body is in like that fight mode, um, I couldn't keep. I think I did for maybe the first 10 miles,
Yeah,
but once it just got to be so hot where I was running, I just couldn't keep it down. And so I was just like, screw this. And so I just had a carbohydrate mix and then I just had Gatorade. I was like, this is my calories for the next until it's nighttime. And then when I was able to slow down a little bit, I could actually eat. But I'm with
yeah,
you. It almost caused a little bit of stress. I'm like, how the hell am I supposed to get this many, get
exactly.
food in?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It would have been fine, I guess, but because usually I'm fine eating along the way, like I trained with it and all that. But this cutoff time at each station really just was like, hindering.
Fucks with you.
It
Yeah.
was, yeah, yeah. It was like right behind me the whole time, and I was just like, just trying to go.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Damn.
Mm.
So if you could sum up the whole race into 3 words, what would you do? What would you say?
Oh gosh, I
Uh,
would go roller coaster through hell.
okay.
It was up and down the whole time, but it ends so painful. The hardest part, I would say, was running and not falling asleep.
Oh,
Mm.
I took a 10-minute because I had my sticks because I had been training for the Big Bear 100K, 100K. And it was like 10,000 feet of elevation in altitude. So like one of the things they recommend is you have your sticks. And I was like, well, I'll bring my sticks for this backyard. You never know. And luckily by like midnight, 1 a.m., I was falling asleep with my sticks and I was like catching myself. But I slept for 10 minutes. I put my beanie over my eyes. I slept for 10 minutes and then pounded a Red Bull. Did
Yeah.
you not sleep
No,
like at all?
no, no.
Oh, fuck.
So because I went the wrong way, that ruined that. That took a lot of my time, and this cutoff time was just 31 hours. Was just craziness, and I was just like, okay, well, we can't sleep. I literally got to most of the cutoff times with 30 minutes to go. So if I didn't make it to the next aid station, I would have been DNF'd.
Right. Not
Yeah,
worth
so
it.
not worth it. I just had to
Yeah.
keep going. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But and that was yeah. I'm glad I took sticks because that was my first. I didn't train with sticks at all, and
Okay.
taking those that helped a lot. So I'm glad I took those. But yeah, not falling asleep while running is a weird feeling, very weird feeling. I
Were
was
you
lucky
like
because
falling over?
I was so kind of swaying, but not, to a point I was like mentally just like kind of just stay in there. And by this time it was dark, and the night before I only had 4 hours sleep, so I didn't really sleep properly. So we were running for it was about 22 hours running straight at this point. It was pitch black. Luckily, I strategically had my pacer jump in and run me through the night, which I'm so glad he did because I don't know, I'll probably be asleep on the side or something like that because
Yeah.
he pushed me. He really pushed me through it, and props to him. He did amazing, such amazing, like amazing job. He's only actually ran 30 kilometers max. Yeah, before, which I'm not too sure on the math in that in miles.
100K is 60. Oh, 20?
13? Yeah,
15?
miles.
15,
Yeah,
20?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's the max he's ran, and I was like, he's my best mate. So he jumped in and really got me through it somehow. And he was in so much pain. He ended up running a total of like 60 miles as his
Holy
first
shit.
as his first long run. Yeah, incredible. That he didn't do any training for that. That's all mental. That was all mental. So
Oh my.
that just goes to prove it's very such a big mental game.
Yeah. What was your, I don't know if it's going to make sense because I'm going to try to convert it to miles per
Mm.
hour. What was your kilometers? Like, were you guys booking like as much as you could the whole time?
We were plugging away. It wasn't fast by any means, but
Okay.
we were moving. We were
Okay.
moving. Yeah, yeah.
Damn. That's one hell of a best mate right there. Oh my God. First long run, 60 miles. Damn, well done.
Yeah.
Well
Very
done.
impressive.
So, what is one thing? Because I actually had someone ask me this. I was like, I'm going to ask Jordan this question. What is one thing that you learned from this race you're going to carry over
Yeah.
into either your everyday, or like it's mental, or your next race? What's one thing you're going to carry over into the next thing that you do?
Um, anything is possible. So just keep going. Just keep plugging away. Yeah. Yeah. It was so much pain that we experienced in that race, and so many things popped up, so many difficulties and stuff like that. But we really just dug deep and pushed through that. But that just goes to show mental strength can get you so far. Um, just keep going,
Yeah.
whatever it is you're doing, just keep going.
Yep. There's also something as you get older, not that we're old and gray,
Yeah.
but I feel
Yeah.
like as you get older, you recognize that time passes.
Yeah.
So that's something that I tell myself too. Like this pain, like this is painful. Like I was crying my last couple miles. I was like, or not crying, but like getting teary because it was just so painful.
Oh yeah.
But I'm like, time is going to pass. Like we know that. So that was something that I like similar to what you were saying. Like just keep going. You will be done. Like you'll finish it. It's the
Yeah.
same sort of concept. And it's the most simplest of things. Just like keep going, time will
Just keep
pass.
going. Exactly.
Yeah.
One foot after the other.
Yeah.
And whatever it is, it can be anything, work, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Just one foot after the other. Just keep going.
Yeah. Do you
Yeah.
think you'll do another one?
Yes. A week after, I was already trying to plan my next one, but I wanted to go bigger. If it's feasible, I do. I want to do. It's on the bucket list. The Moab 240.
Oh,
So
yeah.
get over to the States and see what it's about.
Yeah. I've heard it's beautiful. I mean, you can see pictures. It's beautiful.
Yeah,
It
incredible,
is.
incredible.
Did that just happen? Like 3 weeks ago?
Yeah,
2 weeks ago?
that was the same weekend as my one. So it was
Oh, okay.
it's
Oh,
about
so you have
3.
almost a year.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, yes, exactly.
Damn.
So yeah,
That's gonna be
yeah,
it's still obviously an ultra, of course,
yeah,
but the strategy level is so because what is it, like 5 days, 4 days?
yeah. You've got 4.5, 4.5 days, 5 days to get it
Okay.
done.
Oh yeah,
But
you got it.
yeah,
Oh,
see what we can do with a bit of sleep, Just a little nap here and there along the side of the road, and just keep plugging away. See what's possible.
you'll never find out until you test it.
Exactly. So that's
Yeah.
that's that's where I'm at. So maybe whether what comes along the way, I'm not too sure because we do a few marathons and stuff throughout just to you know get out there and keep getting it. But yeah, I think that's the ultimate goal. I don't know how long it will take. It might take 1 or 2 years, but that's on the bucket list for sure.
Yeah. That's one hell of a bucket list item. It honestly it looks so amazing.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. I haven't found my next like I'm gonna push the distance yet. I'm
yeah,
not I'm not there. I'm still like my biggest thing after is because I was training by myself, like going on trail runs for 6 hours. Like it does a lot of shit to your brain being that isolated. So I'm just like, I need to find people. I need to be around people.
yeah, yeah,
So like that's
100%.
where I'm at.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I agree. I'm at that point too. I'm trying to find other runners around and stuff like that, but
yeah,
you know, no one
yeah.
wants to run for six
Hey,
hours.
you never know. You're talking about on this podcast. People will reach out and be like, "Yo, Jordan, we're up 240."
Let's do it.
So now that it's been 3 weeks,
Yeah,
what are some things you're doing to prioritize some recovery?
I've been to about 4 different recovery places: ice
Okay.
baths, saunas, compression boots, infrared, all that sort of stuff. Mainly stretching. For the first
Mm.
week, I didn't. After the miler, I didn't stretch a lot because I was so sore, in so much pain. I was so stiff, like couldn't even bend my legs. I'm like, what is going on? But now we're like back into stretching and really just giving it even just 2 hours a day. In the morning I'll stretch, midday, and then at night. Big difference. Yeah,
Holy shit. That's a lot of
yeah,
time stretching.
yeah. With training, like training every day is so physically demanding. Like you need to be prepared for that. And stretching is foam rolling, all of it.
Hmm.
So incredibly important.
Yeah.
Yeah. To reduce any risk of injury whatsoever that's the goal.
I'm sure you probably heard the quote like rest as many days as many miles that you run. Like, dude,
Yeah.
no. Who's gonna do after
Mhm.
who in
Yeah.
the hell of any people after running 100 miles gonna be like, oh yes, I'll be sedentary for 100 days? Like, no, that's not happening. No way.
No, no.
No way.
Yeah, I was right back onto it. I was like, I really just want to get back out there and run and move.
Yeah.
But rest is important too. So,
Hmm. Yeah, stretching's been a game changer for me because I've dealt with like Achilles tendonitis in college when I played basketball.
oh
I've
gosh,
like
it sucks.
it
Yeah,
sucks. And so stretching has been a game changer. Yeah.
yeah. I actually had that as well at the start of this year, and that wasn't fun. Not
No.
fun. But that's when I really was like, okay, I need to stretch every day now because my calves are tight, the calves made the hamstrings tight, and that made my lower back tight. So it all just works up,
Yep.
and it's just. But all it takes is just to stretch, to foam roll your glutes and hammies, calves. Definitely don't neglect that. I think. Yeah.
I used to do. I don't do it as much now. This is a great podcast. I'm like calling myself out all the shit that I used to do.
It's like, yeah, it's like a checklist. There we go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good God. I used to do like it's just like like you started just a normal like stretch, but the downward dog I've heard is
Yep.
like the best stretch for Achilles. And so I used to just do
Yep.
just right in the living room during calls.
Yep.
I just hop over there, do a couple downward dog, but
Yep.
again, calling myself
Yep.
out, I need to start doing that
Yep.
again.
Well, yeah. When I was doing it, someone told me about what is it? Heel calf raises.
Yes.
Calf raises are best to strengthen them, and so
Mhm.
everywhere I was, I'll just step to the side and do some calf raises. Yeah, I'm in the shopping center and like they're over there shopping. I'm just doing some calf raises. Just doing some calf raises. Don't mind me. I'm just doing some calf raises. And they're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, just recovering, just recovering." So,
Oh man,
but it
that's
helped.
awesome.
It helped. It helped a lot.
That's super good. Okay, two more questions, and I have rapid fire questions, which are
Yes.
some fun ones. Not that these aren't fun, but they're fun. Okay, first one. What is something that you would like listeners to know about you? So if they took one thing from this episode, just one, what is the
Yep.
one thing you want them to take away?
Ooh, gosh. Uh, Never give in. Yep. Never quit. Keep
Mm.
going. Never stop. Oh, gosh, it's just like so many. I don't know
Yeah,
how to
yeah.
say,
It's a tough
but
question. It's one of the toughest questions that I ask.
it's just taking it step by step, break it down, and just one bit at a time. Don't overlook it as this one big thing because that will just psych you out and throw you off. Slow it down, take step by step, and really just work towards whatever it is you want to do in any sort of way, part of life. Just step by step.
Yeah,
Yeah, and just keep going
I love
because
it.
you can do it. You can do it.
Hell yeah. What is one thing or what is something that you've changed your mind about recently? Could be anything.
Oh, change my mind about.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh.
It's a thinker. I
That
envy some
is.
thinkers.
Yeah. Change my mind about.
Mm-hmm.
Oh gosh. That's a tough one. I've been switching up my training a little bit, so we're even throwing a bit of CrossFit into our sessions now. I used to dabble in a bit of CrossFit, like functional training, but now it's like my coach is throwing it in a bit more now. So I'm kind of just like, no, like, yeah, okay, but sure. All
Give it a go.
right, yeah, we'll give it a go. So give everything a go. I'm
There you go.
still deciding, but yeah, we're getting there.
I don't necessarily, was the CrossFit more of the cardio?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's throwing
Mixing up
weights
the
around
muscles.
really fast.
Yeah. Okay. Rapid fire questions. Are you ready? Okay. Favorite go-to breakfast?
Oh, you've stumped me already. That's a good start. Sourdough with peanut butter and honey.
Ooh, okay.
Yes. Yeah, sometimes I will like put some mixed berries, frozen mixed berries, on top, and they're not frozen. I warm them up and then I put them on top, and
Okay.
it's like kind of yeah. They're not on there frozen, but like it's kind of like a dessert in a way. But it's like yeah,
Yeah.
tasty, very
What about
tasty.
bananas? You throw
Love
some bananas
bananas.
on it? Oh, dude.
Yeah,
Bananas and
throw a
peanut
lot.
butter?
Oh, game
No
changer.
comparison. No
Love it.
comparison. Love it. Okay. Pick two.
Yes.
Swim, bike, run.
Swim, run. Yeah,
Coming
yeah.
from the guy who does 3 hours on a bike. I like it.
Yeah. I do it because I have to.
Fair.
Uh,
Very fair.
swimming is very hard. I
It
only
is.
just got back into swimming this year, and my goodness, it was humbling.
Oh, yeah.
But it was one of those ones where I was like, because I was a bit injured, I couldn't run, so I was like, okay, you can either have a break, or you can swim and keep maintaining fitness. So got in the pool, plugged through it. It was fucking hard.
Hmm.
Breathing, trying to breathe and do the strokes at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
It's all a thing, and you're just like, oh, am I even? Should I do this? But you stick with it, and yeah, the end goal was to maintain fitness. So,
Yeah.
and we ended up getting better at swimming. So there you go.
Hmm.
Triathlon, maybe.
I know. So I was about to ask. You got
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of the. Ooh.
Yeah, if I was
No.
to do an Ironman, I would want to do it overseas somewhere. Um, I'm not too sure where, but yeah, that's for the
Yeah.
future.
I can
Mm.
see it. It's a very natural progression. It's one of
Yeah, it
your
is. It
events for
is.
your Moab 240. Yeah, I mean, you're doing
Yeah,
all of the.
exactly. Yeah, one day, one day.
One day. No, I'm with you though on the swim. There's nothing. I'm not a. I didn't. I grew up in the ocean, but I'm not a
Yeah,
swimmer.
yeah, exactly.
But
You can swim, but that, ooh, and
yeah,
for a longer amount of time. Oh my god.
I think the longest I've ever done was 4,200, and I was like, just because I know the Ironman distance is 42, and I was like, I want to see if I can do it, and I did it, and I was like,
Yes, yes. I did the same thing, and then I ended up going 4.5, and then someone said they did like this amount, which was like 6.5 kilometers. I'm not too sure what that is,
okay, I don't know
miles.
either.
Yeah, but and then I was like, okay, well, let's see how far I can go. So we pushed it. We got 7.7 kilometers. I'm not too sure what that is miles.
It's fucking
Wanna?
far though. That's far. I'll give you that. I don't know the exact.
Yes,
That's
it's.
far.
I think it's just double and a bit more of an Ironman swim.
Okay,
So yeah, yeah.
that's a lot.
But that was all mental, you know.
Yeah. Are
Yeah.
you listening to anything? Do you have like those underwater?
No,
Yeah, me either.
no, that was 3.5 hours of just with that, yeah, and
Silence.
swimming, and yeah, it was crazy.
One day I'll give that a go. One day. I've after this 100, I'm starting like the 100 and then race like
Yep,
recovery and then traveling,
yep,
like making up for all the time I didn't travel during while training. So now it's like the first week back. It's like okay. I usually try to swim 42. So I'll swim 2,100 and then do a run on Tuesdays. And then I'll do a 3,000 yard swim on Fridays. Maybe we make that a 42.
yeah. I think you should. I think you've got
Okay.
that. You can do that. Yeah, 100%.
Go to coffee order.
Triple shot, ice long black. Yeah, so three
Is
shots
that
of
just a
coffee.
black coffee with 3 shots of espresso iced?
Yeah,
Did I get that?
yes.
Holy crap, man. That's a lot of
We're,
caffeine.
we're fighting some demons.
All good. All good. I would be like, hello. The jitters.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Okay. What is something on your bucket list that you haven't shared with someone?
Well, I actually haven't told anyone about the Moab 240. Yeah, so everyone would
Aw.
just think everyone was like, "Wow, 100 miles, you're insane." And now they're just like, "Why? What's wrong with you?" 240 miles,
Yeah.
ridiculous. Which is like, yeah,
I feel
but
special. Thanks for sharing that
yeah,
then.
yeah. I haven't told anyone, so there you go.
Sweet.
Yeah, yeah,
Inside scoop.
yeah. What's next?
Exactly. Okay. Last question. What are
Yes.
3 things that you're grateful for?
Family,
Mm.
freedom of choice, and my ability to walk, run, swim, love, smile.
Aw.
Right.
That was
Yeah.
perfect. That's the
Wow.
podcast, man. You crushed it.
Thank you. Thank you. You crushed it.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're a natural.
Oh, thanks. All right. I'm gonna
Thank you
stop
for having
recording.
me.
Of course.